Okay, with me now is Nigel Kelly from La Trobe University. So, Nigel, how are you doing today?
Good, mate. How are you?
I am fantastic. Okay, so I'm going to dive straight into these questions about how I chose my employer. So, the first question is, where did you look for podiatry job opportunities? So, where did you go searching to actually see what was out there at the moment?
So, two parts. Area-wise, I've just moved to Brunswick a few months ago in Melbourne.
Yeah.
So looking in and North Melbourne specifically, nothing more than like a 45-minute commute. As for where I was actually looking for the work, I like the platforms. Most of the job ads I was trolling through were on the A website, or just because we got recommended that through the uni, so it seemed pretty good. And then there was a lot of options. But apart from that, there were several clinics that I approached personally based off of my own interests to see how I would fit in with them as a more direct approach.
Yeah.
Um, and then ended up one job through that pathway, and the other one was through a placement in the end. So yeah,
Okay, and you said that you moved to the Brunswick area, so you were ideally looking for something that was within 45 minutes of where you were basically living.
pretty much. Yeah, just because I'd recently moved here.
Yeah, so travel time is a big thing as well then.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, because I've heard some people where the distance hasn't been too bad, but the traffic at certain times of the day means they've got to travel more than an hour to get there, and it just put them off. Which leads on to question number two. Was there anything in an ad that immediately put you off as soon as you looked at it?
Biggest red flag initially is
I love red flags.
yeah.
Yeah.
The biggest one for me to help filter through things was exorbitantly high salary.
Okay.
There's always got to be some sort of catch if they're offering so much more than a kind of median amount. Steer clear of them pretty quickly.
That is funny.
Other ones were offering only kind of commission based work.
Yep.
Um, like it can be lucrative if you want to go all in on it, but to start out, it's really good to have that kind of safety net, for want of a better word. And then if you are looking to get loans or something in the future, then it's always good to have that kind of set income salary to set yourself up more nicely.
Yep, that's
Um,
good.
and then probably the other thing as well was sole trader positions as a new grad. Hard to get mentoring and that kind of thing directly through the workplace. So I tried to steer clear of those ones a bit as well.
So if there was someone who was just a sole practitioner and they were looking to bring somebody on, you felt they wouldn't have been able to give you the mentoring you needed?
It was more like a multi-D clinic that had a position open for
Ah,
podiatrist.
yes,
So
okay.
anyone working there. Yeah.
So it was a medical center and they have physio, optometry, all that. And they said, we need a podiatrist to come and work at our medical center. So you were going to be the only podiatrist there. So you knew you weren't going to get any mentoring because
Yeah,
there's no other
100%. Yeah.
podiatrist. Okay. That cleared that up. The next question, how many interviews did you have? Did you go to multiple interviews or did you just pick one and nailed it?
I did three interviews in the end, mostly because there are so many options. I think everyone is in the same boat. Everyone is shopping around a fair bit to see where they would fit in well at a clinic, and then vice versa as well. So it's a good workplace and a good fit. So I did take my time and made sure that I was happy with the clinics that I inevitably chose. So
And this leads on to number four. If you rejected certain offers, why? And what made you say yes to the position that you're going to be starting in 2024?
I did reject a couple mainly because they were commission based in the end, the main offer. A couple of others were a bit too far. They were a bit over that 45-minute kind of commute
Yeah.
range.
So the commission one that you mentioned, was it solely commission or was it a base pay and a commission on top?
Solely commission.
Okay. Yeah,
Um,
that's a sucky arrangement for a new grad.
mm, yeah, I'd rather focus on learning more when I'm starting out rather than having to worry about am I going to get paid or not thing on top.
Yeah, and I know when I had new graduates start with me, I always had a set pay right from the start. Then after a period of time, I would say to them when we were doing commissions, here's your option. Do you want to do this? This is what you'll make if you do it this way, or do you want to stay on the set pay? And most of them went to commission. However, as years went on, I eventually found everything worked better when everyone was just on a set pay. You just increase the pay over time with experience and everyone seemed to be happier. But yeah, every clinic's different. The one that you said yes to, what was it that made you say yes to it?
It just seemed, because I've been in hospitality for about 6 years while I've been reskilling. So it's a
Okay.
pretty different industry. But the way hospitality usually works is people are more of an asset and you'll use that asset to make money.
Yep.
And then what I was looking for in a podiatry clinic was a clinic that wants to invest in the actual clinicians, let them upskill, and then generate new avenues of revenue or higher earning potential. And then secondarily generate revenue that way rather than just milking it up front
And that
primarily.
makes perfect sense.
So yeah, I ended up finding a clinic like that. So yeah, very happy with it.
Okay, which leads me on to the next question perfectly. What aspects of podiatry do you actually like most?
So for me, I'm very interested in all areas. There's
Yeah.
nothing that I don't enjoy having a crack at, but the sports side's definitely my biggest area of interest. So yeah, one of the jobs I took was at a sports medicine practice. So I'll be able to get a lot of the biomech experience and then explore that avenue and help grow that area.
And that was something you said to me before I pressed record that you chose two positions. One you're doing 3 days a week and one you're doing 2 days a week. So you two part-time jobs.
Yeah, the reasoning behind that was, I guess, one, try to avoid initial burnout of just getting stuck into the same thing and go flat out into it,
Yeah.
especially coming from working in a few other different industries and experiencing burnout in different ways. I wanted to mitigate it early and also spreading my workload. So I'll have a couple of days of something that I'm really interested in, which might be a bit more intense. And then I'll have a few more days where the work could be much more varied. And then I can spread my mental load that way across the week as well.
What's the distance between the two jobs? Like you said, you're in the Brunswick area. Are they, how far away are both of those positions from where you're going to live?
So the general clinic's about 40-minute drive.
Yep.
The other clinic is about 15. So pretty close.
Okay. The 40-minute drive will give you time to listen to the podcast.
Exactly.
Bonus question. Was money a factor?
To an end.
Yeah.
The main thing for me was just wanting financial stability after studying for a while and then through all the placements this year. It's pretty financially taxing. So as long as I had enough income for financial stability and then I can focus, especially on the first year, learning and developing as much as I can, then that was the main factor for money for me for this year.
Okay, that's good. Because you right at the beginning, you mentioned that some of the jobs that put you off were the ones that were offering amazing amounts of money. And I have seen some where new graduate, $120,000 a year.
Yeah.
And straight away, when you see it and you read through it, you go, something doesn't equate. Something
Yeah.
doesn't. And this is what I'm hearing this as a common sort of theme. So I got one final thing. It's not really a question, it's more of a comment. Is do you have a message for if there's any employers that are listening to this, do you have a final comment for employers that you would like to say to them?
I guess if you are making any sort of job ads, make it so that you're kind of highlighting how the clinic can help you grow and then how you can have an impact at the clinic as well, rather than just being like a kind of another number or a wheel in a cog kind of thing.
Yeah.
How you can, yeah, grow specifically and then how you can help each other would be a pretty good add-on to stand out, to be honest.
No, that's great. I think you've answered all my questions really well. So, Nigel, I want to thank you for coming on the Podiatry Legends podcast for this How I Chose My Employer episode. And I'm sure I will see you at a podiatry conference at some stage in the future.
Sounds great. Very welcome, mate.
Okay, thanks.
Cheers.